our buses were lined up next to each other, right? And Larry goes, "Hey man, don't ever put that guy on me." Right?
And he says, "Man, that's an insult. What you guys just did to me." Like, what you mean? That's an insult. He says, "You guys put a white boy on me."
Bird as the biggest shit talker back in the 80s.
Right.
But we had Worthy on our show. We had AC on the show. And we had Coop on the show. They said it's the Three Musketeers. It was the Three Musketeers that started all of that back in the 80s.
So let me tell you what has happened.
Let's talk about something that's been eating at real hoop heads for a while now, the death of the mid-range back in the golden era. That space between 15 and 20 feet wasn't just a shot. It was a canvas. Kobe, MJ, T-Mac, they lived their jab steps, fadeaways, one dribble pull-ups every possession was a masterclass in footwork and shot creation fast forward to today. And the math has taken over the gospel of analytics, says it's layups or threes. Nothing in between, and here's the wild part of Kobe. We're dropping 40 a night in this era with the same exact bag. Twitter would probably call him inefficient or a bad shot taker. That's where the disrespect cuts deeper, because when you bury the mid-range, you're not just burying a shot chart, you're burying a generation of killers who weaponized that the mid-range wasn't numbers. It was rhythm, it was tempo, it was confidence under pressure. And that's why guys like DeMar DeRozan refuse to buy into the narrative. He said it himself: when the game slows down, when defenses tighten, and the season's on the line, the mid-range isn't dead, it wins games.
I get in the car and it's Larry Bird. And I shake his hand, I'm quiet, trying to feel that balance in the car and everything. And it's the old school limo sitting in the back. And when we get out, he doesn't say much, but when we get out, he goes, "Hope you get your sleep tonight, because I'm going to bust your ass tomorrow."
And here's the sad part: a whole generation of young fans never really saw that side of the game to them. Basketball starts and ends with Steph pulling from the logo, don't get me wrong. That's legendary in its own right, but the real ones know the mid-range wasn't just a shot, it was a weapon, and no one wielded it sharper than Kobe Bryant. Every fadeaway, every pivot, every impossible jump over two defenders. That was basketball poetry today. The torch still burns, but it's in rare hands. And if there's anyone in the league who carries that mid-range tradition with the same pride and stubbornness as Kobe, it's DeMar DeRozan. He's not just taking those shots, he's preserving an art form passed down to him directly through Kobe's blueprint.
My favorite trash talking by Larry, and Kevin was a pretty good trash talker too, but Larry was when they trash talk coaches, like when they trash talk Hubie Brown, and they're sitting there playing in Madison Square Garden, and he's just going like taking the ball out of bounds in front of their bench, so the whole bench can hear him,
right?
And go like, "Hubie, this all you got for me tonight? Like, you got no one else that can guard me? This is getting ridiculous, And then Hubie would put in, like, Johnny Newman would be running in the game. He goes, "Wait, are you serious? That's the guy you're putting on me?"
The reason Kobe thrived was because defenses were locked on him. He even went as far as claiming he could have won more rings with T-Mac or Steph. That's not just confidence, that's shade, heavy shade. And here's the thing: it didn't stop with Shaq. The disrespect started piling up from media talking heads to player rankings to even other legends rewriting history. But not everyone stayed silent. Kyrie Irving saw it building, he saw the narrative shifting, and he wasn't having it, he exploded.
We walk out on the court, and Benson is guarding Larry, right? And Larry looks at me and he was calling me cheesy. He goes, "Cheesy, like you putting him on me?" He said, you putting him on me? I was like, "That's all I got, man. That's all I got right now." And he goes, "I'm taking right down to the baseline. I'm shooting right over him." So after the game, our buses were lined up next to each other, right? And Larry goes, "Hey man, don't ever put that guy on me."
Kyrie fired back with receipts. He reminded everyone Kobe entered the league at just 17 years old, still a kid, and went toe-to-toe with grown men by 22. He wasn't just holding his own, he already had multiple championships. That's not hype, that's history. And it wasn't just Kyrie waving the flag. Dwayne Wade, a Hall of Famer who actually went to war against Kobe on the court, echoed the same frustration. Ranking Kobe at 11 wasn't just wrong, it was flat out insulting.
I'll give you one story that he told me. We're playing in 1985, and he's coming down, and he looks at me and he goes, "Coop, I'm getting ready to wear your ass out." So I get in my best defensive stance, and he's on the bottom, and Robert Parrish comes down to set a pick on him. And Larry goes off the pick, and I fight through the pick, and I'm there. And as soon as he catches the ball, he turns and he goes up. And Kareem, knowing that, Kareem steps off of Parrish, so we got him. And I'm saying to myself, I got this fucker, man. I got him. I'm getting ready to pack his shot. So we both go up, Kareem and I, and Larry's up in the air. And I don't know how he got this ball between our hands, but he hits Robert Parrish with a great pass, and Parrish scores. And as Parrish scores, we're going down the court. He said, I told you, mother.
Kyrie Irving made it clear this isn't just about rankings on some analyst list. It's about what Kobe meant to the game, to the culture, to millions of people who grew up modeling his grind. Kyrie wasn't just defending Kobe's jump shot. He was defending his character, his work ethic, and his legacy. And here's why Kyrie takes it so personally to Kobe. Kyrie wasn't just another rising star. He was family.
One of the things, the first thing, I think really the only thing he said to me, I'm guarding him. My first play, he's coming down the court and I'm guarding him. He looks at me, he said, I don't know why they have you guarding me, Holmes. And he shoots the three. Now, I wasn't upset he made the three. I said, but this son of a gun just called me Holmes.
Kyrie Irving didn't mince word. We didn't care about Kobe's failures. A real fan stood by him. We knew who Kobe was, and we know who faked the love when he passed. The message was loud and clear. Put some respect on Kobe's name. Stop the lazy comparison. Stop the disrespect. Just tell the truth. Kobe was different. And since everybody always wants to talk rings, let's talk about it. That's the first thing people throw out when they argue the GOAT debate. How many championships he got? But here's the truth, rings don't tell the whole story. Robert Horry's got 7. That's more than Kobe, more than Shaq, more than LeBron, but nobody's putting him in the GOAT conversation. Why? Because it's not just about winning. It's about how you win, who you carried when you stepped up. Kobe's 5 rings weren't just jewelry. There were scars. He didn't ride the bench for them. He put his body on the line, played through injuries, and closed games when everything was on the line. And beyond the clutch shots, beyond the killer instinct, Kobe did something even greater. He sacrificed for the team.
Nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
No, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, and Bird talked a lot of trash.
And that's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans. In that game, we're on the free throw line, and he literally says, left side over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
People forget just how much weight Kobe carried. One Shaq left, the dynasty was over. The critics were circling, and the spotlight was burning hotter than ever. The easy narrative was that Kobe couldn't do it on his own, but he didn't just survive that pressure, he delivered. So before you toss around ring counts like they're the end-all argument, remember this. Context matters, leadership matters, legacy matters. Rings tell you who won, but they don't tell you who bled for it, who sacrificed for it, and who redefined the game in the process. And that's the gap between how fans rank players and how hoopers rank players. Hoopers see the grind, the scars, the nights when you're carrying a franchise on your back. As Gilbert Arenas said it best, Kobe wasn't born with everything, he built everything.